Thomas Frank has already made a significant impact at Tottenham. His versatility and tactical intelligence have been on full display, and it's exactly why he was chosen as Ange Postecoglou's replacement. Taking charge of a side that finished 17th last season while also carrying the burden of expectation after Ange delivered Tottenham's first trophy in 17 years, Frank inherited a daunting challenge. Many wondered how he would handle the pressure of making the biggest step up in his career, yet after just 3 competitive matches he's shown precisely what he's capable of. He's already gone toe-to-toe with European champions PSG, masterminded a dominant performance against Burnley and most recently outmanoeuvred Pep's Man City. But how exactly has he managed to achieve this? Well, let's take a closer look.
Set pieces have quickly become a crucial weapon for Tottenham under Thomas Frank. Against PSG, both centre-backs Mickey van der Ven and Christian Romero got themselves on the score sheet, and both goals came from set pieces. Long throws, quick free kicks and clever overloads in the box are all key parts of Frank's tactical blueprint. A recurring theme is Spurs targeting the back post. Time and time again they flood that area with numbers, creating an overload that either leads to a direct header on goal or gives them the best chance to pounce on the second ball. It's no surprise either. At Brentford, Frank's side were a set-piece powerhouse. They scored the most headers in the league, created the best chances from dead ball situations, and only Liverpool had a higher conversion rate. Defensively, they were also the strongest team at defending set pieces. With Spurs, the same philosophy is already clear. They've become much more direct compared to their previous manager, and nothing highlights it more than seeing Kevin Danso step up as their designated long throw specialist.
Tottenham's directness isn't just limited to set pieces, it's also clear and open play. Unlike last season where Spurs consistently played out from the back, Thomas Frank has given Vicario far more licence to go long. Take his pass map against PSG for example. Time and time again he went long to bypass their aggressive high press, and it worked. This variation makes Spurs far less predictable and gives them another dangerous avenue of attack. Luis Enrique's side are notorious for their pressing game. In fact, they often give possession from kickoff purely to suffocate opponents in their own half and ultimately force mistakes. Many teams crumble under that kind of intensity, but Frank clearly had done his homework. Instead of playing into PSG's trap, he flipped the script. Spurs went over the press, used their pace and behind and forced PSG's defensive line into uncomfortable situations. For long spells, PSG simply couldn't maintain their usual dominance. The approach paid off for most of the match. Spurs not only competed, but they led against the reigning European champions. And while PSG's world-class quality inevitably saw them come back, the tactical battle itself was eye-opening. Sure, PSG's world-class ability allowed them to come back, but the fact that Spurs were able to compete and even lead for the majority of the match against a team with such quality is just a testament to how Frank set up his side. Enrique even said himself that Tottenham were the better team and they deserved to win, which is high praise from a top coach, and it demonstrates just how dangerous Thomas Frank's side can be.
Against Burnley though, we saw a very different side of Frank's Spurs. He switched to a back four, trusted young players like Archie Gray and Lucas Bergvall, and set up in a system built to press high and dominate. That adaptability is nothing new. He did the same at Brentford. The Dane loves an aggressive press, often going man-to-man, and his team's consistently ranked among the best for possession turnovers. It's a philosophy that actually isn't too dissimilar from Ange Postecoglou's Spurs. The key difference? Ange had his team press relentlessly no matter the score, the situation, or stage of the game. Frank, on the other hand, picks his moments, and that subtle shift has already been a huge difference maker for Spurs this season.
And in this high pressing system, the part of the team that's absolutely essential is the midfield. They're the engine and they provide legs, energy and intelligence to make everything work. We saw this perfectly in Tottenham's most impressive victory so far, the 2-0 win over City at the Etihad. Surprisingly, Frank went with a back four against Guardiola's side, but that choice gave him an extra body in midfield, and it proved decisive. Spurs didn't dominate in terms of possession, they dominated in terms of territory and intensity. City were forced wide, struggled to build centrally, and rarely threatened Vicario's goal.
The key? Frank's use of Pap Sarr. The midfielder pushed higher up the pitch, going man-to-man whenever City tried to play through the midfield, while Bentancur and Polina sat just behind, ready to sweep up and close any passing lanes. This triangle of energy and discipline made it incredibly difficult for City to build from the back, and it was on full display in Spurs' second goal. Sarr stepped aggressively onto Nico Gonzalez, forced a turnover, and within seconds Tottenham had punished City to take a 2-0 lead. That moment summed up Frank's game plan. Calculated pressing backed by intelligent midfield positioning. City simply couldn't find a rhythm, pinned back by a Spurs side that looked fearless and fully in control.
But with all the threats City carried going forward, Spurs, just like against PSG, weren't afraid to go direct themselves. And with Pep's even higher defensive line and newly implemented offside trap, Thomas Frank saw an opportunity. City's back four often held their line right on the halfway mark, and Spurs exploited it brilliantly. This time it wasn't Vicario launching the ball long, it was the defenders, and this was a rather clever plan from Thomas Frank. The aim was to entice City high up the pitch, hit them in behind quickly, and ultimately the first goal was a prime example of that. City's back four was set up to spring the offside trap on Richarlison, and if you look closely at Ruben Diaz, you can see it in action. His body position is angled deliberately to make Richarlison appear offside, which is exactly why the flag went up and the goal was initially ruled out. But the Spurs striker timed his run to perfection, broke the line and drove forward with conviction. What followed was just as impressive. An inch-perfect ball slid into Brennan Johnson's path, who was quicker off the mark than Rico Lewis, and well, he finished superbly. This shows that Spurs are fully aware when facing tougher opposition, and that they have certain methods to make up for their lesser quality. Like and subscribe for more content just like this one, and whilst you're at it, comment down below, where do you think Thomas Frank's Tottenham will finish this campaign?